All right, let's dive deep into the final stretch before the Patriots kick off their training camp. And the atmosphere in Foxborough is electric with anticipation. The whole roster has gathered. Each player ready to prove their worth as the team prepares to cut down from 911 hopefuls to just 53 men. Who will take the field this season? The pressure is real, and nowhere is that more evident than in the intense battle for roster spots. Especially among those who find themselves on the hot seat, it's a crucial time. A make-or-break moment where veterans and rookies alike will have to bring their best to avoid being the odd one out. On top of that, the spotlight also shines on three major names whose futures are shrouded in uncertainty: Micah Parsons, Trey Hendrickson, and Terry McLaurin. These players are not just pivotal to their current teams. Their potential movement could shift the landscape around the league. Starting on the offensive side, the Patriots have undergone significant changes, particularly along the offensive line, which has been a focal point of concern for the entire offseason. The position of left guard stands out as a puzzle still being solved. Cole Strange, who took on the role of center last year, is transitioning back to his original spot on the left side of the line. It's a move that carries its own challenges, but Strange has experience there, and there are indications from rankings that he could be a top-tier guard, potentially solidifying himself as a starter. However, his hold on that position isn't guaranteed. The competition is fierce, with Wilson, a third-round rookie out of Georgia who primarily plays center, also considered a candidate to slide over and battle for left guard duties. Adding to the mix are undrafted players like Jack Connolly from Boston College, the intriguing Lean Robinson, and C.D. Saw. There's also the possibility of last-minute pickups like Brandon Scherf, someone who could emerge from free agency and shake up the competition. Strange's performance in camp will need to be strong enough to fend off all challengers, especially because the Patriots are mindful of salary cap implications and could opt to replace a costly player with a cheaper alternative if the performance gap is minimal. Meanwhile, wide receiver M. Hollins finds himself in a precarious spot. Despite having dealt with injuries that sideline him, he secured a free agent contract that should guarantee him a role in the lineup, presumably in a rotational capacity. Still, if Hollins fails to produce on the field, it wouldn't be a surprise to see rookie Kyle Williams from Washington State step into the spotlight and claim the ex-receiver role. Williams' rise could effectively demote Hollins to a backup or rotational role, serving more as a veteran presence than a primary playmaker. The Patriots are weighing whether the investment in Hollins is truly paying off when a younger, less expensive player might offer more growth potential. Hollins is respected as a teammate, but injury concerns and cost versus production are factors that can't be ignored. Then there's running back Rondre Stevenson, who has found himself in a somewhat better position with the arrival of the new head coach Mike Vrabel, a man who values a punishing running game much like the one Derrick Henry brought to his teams. The offensive line improvements also bode well for Stevenson's opportunities. However, major concerns loom over his potential impact: fumbling issues and competition from rookie TreVeyon Henderson out of Ohio State. Stevenson must prove he has eliminated his tendency to cough up the ball, as ball security is non-negotiable in this league. Coach Vrabel has even defended him by pointing out that some fumbles were the result of missed blocks, but nonetheless, the issue must be fixed. Henderson, who has impressed scouts with his versatility as a pass catcher, runner between the tackles, and especially as a pass blocker, appears ready to compete aggressively for snaps. There's a strong chance we'll see a 1A, 1B running back situation developing. And if Henderson performs well, Stevenson could slide down the depth chart quickly. On the defensive front, Anthony Jennings is a name that Patriots fans are all too familiar with, but his position in the rotation has come under serious threat. Jennings was noticeably absent from the top defensive unit this spring, appearing mostly with backups and working on a separate field. This puts him in a difficult spot as he fights to regain his role among the defensive ends. The team could potentially cut Jennings to save nearly $3 million in salary cap space, although this would come with dead money charges of a couple million. Given that the Patriots are working with around $60 million in cap space, cutting him wouldn't be a huge financial stretch, but it's a decision that will depend on how Jennings performs in camp and preseason games. Alternatively, he could be moved via trade if there is demand for a defensive end elsewhere. Regardless, Jennings will need to bring intensity and consistency to secure his spot. Turning back to the big names, the uncertainty surrounding Micah Parsons is a major storyline. Jerry Jones, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, has sent mixed signals about Parsons' future, fueling speculation. While Parsons is officially at training camp, it remains to be seen how much he will participate. Jones has publicly stated that signing Parsons does not guarantee he will stay, which is an unusual and somewhat cryptic comment. The underlying context appears to be concerns about Parsons' injury history, having missed a portion of last season. Due to various ailments, Jones pointed out that Parsons missed 6 games, which doesn't quite line up with the facts, as Parsons actually missed due to a high ankle sprain and played through other injuries. This seems to be part of Jones' strategy to keep Parsons' contract demands in check, especially after the Cowboys experienced a costly contract situation with Dak Prescott, who missed over half the games last year. Parsons, no doubt, is aware of these dynamics and must be weighing his options carefully. If he perceives the Cowboys as unlikely to make a serious Super Bowl run soon, he may begin to push for a trade, seeking a team with immediate championship prospects that can offer the lucrative deal he deserves. The Patriots, with their substantial cap space, could be a logical destination if they decide to make a bold move, potentially offering draft capital to sweeten the deal. However, the decision will ultimately rest on Parsons' desire to join a contender now rather than waiting for Dallas to build a team capable of competing at the highest level. This situation places the Patriots in the dark horse category, interested, but waiting to see how negotiations unfold. Meanwhile, Trey Hendrickson's ongoing holdout with the Cincinnati Bengals has raised eyebrows. The Bengals owner, Mike Brown, has openly acknowledged the difficulty in reaching an agreement with Hendrickson, describing him as a valuable player, but not always the easiest to deal with. Hendrickson, a top edge rusher known for his sack production, is clearly pushing for a contract that reflects his impact. However, some critiques highlight that, unlike peers such as Parsons, Myles Garrett, or T.J. Watt, Hendrickson's run defense isn't as strong, which could affect his market value. Despite these challenges, Brown remains optimistic, suggesting that a deal will eventually be struck. Given the Bengals' ambitions to return to the Super Bowl, especially with the offensive firepower led by Joe Burrow, it's unlikely Hendrickson will leave Cincinnati anytime soon. Then there's Terry McLaurin, who finds himself at a crossroads. McLaurin, coming off a career year and nearing 30, is on record as being open to every option concerning his contract. That could mean holding out entirely, showing up but refusing to practice, or even requesting a trade to secure an extension elsewhere. His representatives are understandably pushing for a payday that reflects his recent success, emphasizing that in this business, there are no guarantees and now is the time to maximize earnings. Despite this, McLaurin has expressed a strong desire to stay put and work with the Washington Commanders, navigating their salary cap limitations to find a deal that works for both sides, without undermining the team's competitiveness. The Commanders, fresh off an NFC Championship appearance and with promising young talent like Jaden Daniels, present an attractive situation. The negotiation will likely revolve around McLaurin's asking price, reportedly around $30 million annually, with the hope that both sides settle somewhere in the mid to low 20s per year for a 2 to 3 year contract. Should talks stall or demands remain unmet, the trade market could become McLaurin's next avenue. So, to sum up, while Hendrickson and McLaurin seem poised to remain with their current teams, Parsons is the big unknown. He's caught in a tug of war between his potential for the top NFL contract and the Cowboys' struggles to build a championship roster. How long will he tolerate the uncertainty before demanding a fresh start elsewhere? For Patriots fans, these questions loom large as training camp approaches, promising plenty of drama and high stakes both on and off the field. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Patriots Hub and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our New England Patriots. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most intriguing whispers of the NFL offseason, sources close to league discussions suggest that the New England Patriots might be exploring a blockbuster trade: defensive tackle Christian Barmore for New York Giants edge rusher KAYVON THIBODEAUX. While nothing is confirmed and both organizations have remained silent on the matter, the rumor has been gaining momentum behind the scenes. Barmore, a disruptive force in the trenches since being drafted by the Patriots in 2021, is entering a critical phase of his career. Known for his explosiveness and ability to collapse the pocket, Barmore has steadily improved and become a foundational piece on New England's defense. Yet, with the Patriots potentially entering a soft rebuild under new leadership, no player is untouchable. On the flip side, THIBODEAUX, The former 5th overall pick in the 2020 draft has shown flashes of elite talent but hasn't yet lived up to the sky-high expectations placed upon him. His upside remains tantalizing. He's long, athletic, and capable of wrecking game plans. Perhaps a fresh start in Foxborough, under a system known for developing defensive talent, could unlock the consistency he needs to become a perennial Pro Bowler for the Giants. Adding BARMORE could mean reinforcing the interior of their defense, pairing him with Dexter Lawrence to form a menacing duo up front. The trade could also signal a shift in New York's defensive philosophy, placing greater emphasis on interior pressure and run-stopping dominance. While there are plenty of moving parts, league insiders suggest talks have at least been floated. Whether this smoke leads to fire is still uncertain. But in a league where surprise trades are increasingly common, BARMORE for THIBODEAUX has the makings of a headline-grabbing deal for now. Fans of both teams are left to wonder, is this just off-season chatter or the start of something real? That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our New England Patriots, be sure to subscribe to Patriots Hub and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.